we are back again, day 2. Yesterday we saw the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the WandaVision filming locations, and today we're going to be talking about Hawkeye, and there's going to be a few other things mixed in. This is going to be a great day. To start out this video today, I am on the campus of Agnes Scott College in Atlanta, Georgia. And in episode 1 of Hawkeye, Kate is where she shoots down the bell tower. Those scenes were shot right here at Agnes Scott College, and we're going to track them down. So you can clearly tell that this is the building she scales up. You can see this distinctive pattern here on the arch above the door. You can even see this light fixture right on her. So she was right here scaling up this building. Like as she's up there and the angle looks down, you can see this this handrail here. And then she's like moving across this way as she continues to climb up, going up to the roof. Right here's the tunnel where Kate was climbing up the front of that building. They come out of here like they're watching what she's doing.
Careful. If we get caught, you're definitely going to be kicked off the...
But what I'm not seeing is the actual bell tower. After she scales the front side of this building here, it then shows her on the rooftop, and she is up on the top of this building right here, and there is a wide shot where you can clearly see that that's the place.
Oh my god, that was amazing! Wow! Nice.
And although the clock tower is completely computer generated, it is not here on this campus. In those shots where she's up there and she's shooting the arrows, you can see that building right there in front of us with the 4 like vent things up here on the shingles and the roof part of it. So basically they're saying they digitally did that clock tower, and it would have been, I don't know, maybe even right here in the middle of this little quad, but you can see that building to the left of that clock tower. So hold it! This is the spot. Kate shot those arrows from right here on the corner of this building. I'm actually kind of sad that the clock tower is not real, but it's not. In Hawkeye, there's a scene. Elania is following Kate's mom. The camera shows her following her mom right around this way. And in that shot, you can see this corner. You can see all of these little rails around the trees. It's about right here when Elania turns around because Kate's mom looks back to see who's around. And then Kate's mom goes right in the front door. This is the Ponce condominiums. It's like luxury condos here in Atlanta. And they obviously decorated it for Christmas and all of that stuff. You get one shot from right in here, maybe a little bit closer, but that's the shot right there, right as Kate's mom is going through the doors. That means Fisk's office was portrayed to be inside of this building, right up there somewhere. Early on in Hawkeye, Clint and his kids, they go to a play, Rodgers The Musical. Now, the exteriors of those shots were done at the real theater there in New York, but the play was actually filmed inside of the Fox Theater here in Atlanta.
I could do this all.
The Fox Theater has those, I'm not quite sure what they are, but it's to the left and the right of the stage. And then it has that like elegant looking drape thing up above the stage with the lights on. And you can see all that in the episode of Hawkeye, showing you this was done at Fox Theater.
Save us all from the state we're in.
Right behind the Fox Theater in Atlanta is this, and this was used for filming Ms. Marvel. In episode 1 of Hawkeye, they have the auction where they're auctioning off stuff from Avengers compound, and Kate like breaks into that and gets the Ronin suit, and she's running from the tracksuits. You see her running down the road this way, and all this stuff's in the way right this second, but you can see where she's coming this way, and you can see this off. Well, on screen it's to her right. And as she's like out of breath, kneeling right here, you can see the two like square planter things there on the right, and you can see this building over here to the left. That's it right there. She like ducked down to get a breath. Then the truck kicked its lights on that was sitting right here. So Kate takes off running from them, going down the road this way.
Where do you think you're going? Putting weapons on. Hey, we got.
And it's about right in here somewhere where the other truck pulls up.
Putting weapons on. Hey, we got little surprise for you. We've got eyes everywhere.
So we would have been about like right in here somewhere where the guy like throws Kate up onto the hood of the car, and then she eventually goes and gets inside of the car, and then that's when Clint comes to help. That happened right here. Kate manages to find herself in this alleyway, and this is where Clint and Kate meet for the first time. Kate says, "You're Hawkeye," and Clint says, "Who are you?" All that happened right here on this alley.
You're a Hawkeye.
And who the hell are you?
And if you look across from them in that shot, you can even see this alley over here behind them with the yellow like ladder that goes up to the roof or whatever. You can see it across from them in that shot from right here. So they would have been standing right up here against the wall when that happened.
Come on.
In the final episode of Hawkeye, Maya, who feels like she's been betrayed by Fisk, she actually shoots him right here on this alley. Fisk is coming up, walking this direction. Behind Fisk's head, you can clearly notice this building here with these distinctive patterns. You can see him up above his head. You can also see, like, down here on the end, how it's rounded and has that little structure there. You can see that over beside him as well. This is the spot where Maya shot him. And they just kind of fade to black, you know?
Eye to eye.
So I have now come to a place called Piedmont Park in Atlanta for a location. But check out the view from this park. So in Hawkeye, there's a scene where they're trying to get their trick arrows back. So Kate goes to talk to the LARPers. All those scenes were shot right here. They would have been right here on this surface with their batons doing their thing. So you can see all this behind them in those shots. Now, they kind of play a trick on you with their camera work. Because in those shots, you really can't see this wall. But you can definitely see the set of stairs going up to your left here. Those shots were spliced where they had the LARPers here and Kate standing over here on the other side. As you can see, this landing pretty much looks the same, but there's no stairs going up to the left. So if you look, the way they do the cuts, you see them at the LARPers at the other landing over there with the stairs on their left. And then you see Kate walking up. You can see this brick thing behind her. And then as the camera is looking at her this way, you can see this cauldron looking thing. And then the path up here with the trees.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt. Oh, you guys are dedicated.
So, a little bit of camera trickery, and I'm not sure why they did that. Why wouldn't they just film it all right here at this one landing? Because it looks pretty much similar. But they definitely, I don't know why they did that. It's kind of weird. That's it right there. This is where Kate met up with the LARPers. She's trying to get their trick arrows back. Right here. I am now at Stone Mountain National Park. So you first see Clint. He's back at Piedmont Park and he's walking around the trail. And I guess they wanted to make you think these two locations were in the same place. They're not. But then the camera cuts. Clint comes right here where the LARPers are meeting. The next shot turns away from that building thing there, and it was right here. They have the tent set up in between these two trees right here, and the sign is sitting right here. This is NYC LARPers, and you can see these trees here with that rock right there in between them. So he meets up with the guy right here, the guy who's wearing the Ronin suit. You can see the concrete wall behind him. They had bales of hay stacked up, and there were tents all back in here covering the road. But that's the spot. You can see the trees here in that shot.
Patience. So you got two choices, you understand? Okay. All right, cool. Just make it quick. Yeah. What? No, you gotta make it look real. We gotta have trial by combat.
And then the epic battle where Hawkeye's gonna throw the fight to make the other guy look good. It took place right here on top of the stone. Right here.
Now, she must drink the ritualistic.
In fact, they tried to hide it with some of those tent looking things, but you can actually see the staircase with the metal railings in the background of that shot, right behind that blue tent. I'm now at Mitchell Street, and boy oh boy did they shoot a lot of stuff on this road right here. For one, in Avengers Endgame, they dressed this road up to look like Japan, and this is where Hawkeye, or Ronin as he was at that time, came through and was killing all the mobsters from there in Japan. Well, they come back here again for Hawkeye, except it's hard to recognize, but right here where it says run devil run, Rick Miller's Rexall Drugs, that was the pizza shack where Kate lived. She lived up here in the top.
Right here. You know, some people have actually called me the world's greatest archer.
Yeah? Are you one of those people?
In Hawkeye, you see the tracksuits out here on the ground. They throw the Molotov cocktail through there and set it on fire. And the Ronin suit gets left behind. All of that happened right here in this building here in Atlanta. On this same street. That's crazy. That's Kate's Pizza Shop right there. On top of that, another series was filmed here on this street called Miss Marvel, and we're going to talk about that for just a moment. So Miss Marvel starts out with her coming down the street. She's riding her bike up the sidewalk there, and this was the market.
The plan was perfect. I was gonna get my license. Then under the cover of stupid.
Which means the boy supposedly lived up above it here. In fact, there's a shot of them climbing up that ladder right there, going up onto the roof, so she can like practice her superpowers and all.
Don't need a flex, I lay low.
She comes down and goes in. So they're in the market for a few minutes. And then you see her riding her bike, and that actually starts down just right here. So you see her riding her bike coming towards this mural over here on the left, which is right across the street from that market.
Bruno, I still need to figure out my final flourish for my costume. Any ideas?
Okay. But then it cuts back down here to the other end of the block, because you can, right here it says H.L. Green. I guess it was an old pharmacy. And you can kind of see that as the camera pans this way.
How about steampunk Captain Marvel?
Steampunk is dead.
So the artwork is moving up here on these buildings as she rides past. You actually get to clearly see the yellow colored metal contraption here.
Okay, fine. How about a mashup? Like Captain Panther or Iron Marvel?
Ooh, Doctor Strange Marvel. I could be like, I could like wear a cape.
Cool.
Even like Asgardian, you know. Be
She's riding up this way and the artwork's going, and then she turns, going in front of that wall that kind of looks like an American flag.
agree, ride a horse.
Okay, I can't build you a horse, but otherwise...
Oh, you could build me flat baby wings. You know, that's very me.
Completely you. Wings, little tiara.
There's like a zombie out here that loses its finger, and she just rides across this parking lot. And that's it right there.
Better.
What?
Zombie Captain Marvel. I could be like,
I will eat your brains! Is that your best zombie?
I also have superpowers.
Okay, hey, let's never do that zombie impersonation again.
In Hawkeye, there's like this really cool like car chase scene, and it was shot in several areas right here around Atlanta. But in one scene, you see Clint, he's driving an old car, and he swirls it through this intersection, and you can make out this crosswalk with the X going across the street. He swirls the car and sliding his tires right through the intersection this way here. You can see this building as he's sliding the car through. You can see this building as he's, you know, sliding by. And this is actually Spider-Man Homecoming. This was the bank right here where the guys were trying to rob the ATM, and this was the like deli thing. The shot where they're doing that whole driving scene and they go over this bridge is actually pretty cool, because they cleverly hide cuts in the car. So they have this camera in the back seat that just is rotating constantly, and they cut when the camera like gets to a blind spot inside of the car where all you can see is the car. Then as it reaches the next window, it's at a different spot. In Hawkeye, you know, the bad guys, like, they're in a warehouse, which is the KB, it says KB Toys on the outside of it. That warehouse is actually not real. It was completely computer generated. In fact, this was the building that they computer generated that over right here behind me. They put the KB Toys facade, like they computer digitally did it on the right here on the side of this building. They just, you know, digitally added all the windows and everything to the outside of this building to make it look like that KB Toys warehouse. First off, I just have to say, the VFX artists are incredible. They made this door out of nowhere. That door is really not there. But as they're running out into the parking lot and they're getting into the car, you can actually see that staircase on the building behind them.
We're not smashing a 72 Challenger, come on.
So the parking lot that they're leaving from when they are driving is this parking lot right here. And in fact, in one of those shots, as they're pulling out onto the road, you can see that Park Place parking sign in the shot. They left it there.
How many we got?
4!
So that's just crazy. The warehouse is not real at all. Who would have guessed? Who would have thought? Right here in this, well, it's in a Park Place, Atlanta parking, but this is where they put up the Christmas tree farm and filmed, well, first Clint driving through the Christmas trees, and then the bad guy's going in him after, and then she shoots the arrow and it sucks all the Christmas trees up to the truck.
Please be a good one.
You can see that bridge behind them in that shot, right behind all the Christmas trees. They're driving down the road, coming this way, and the bad guys are coming towards them. So Clint, like, slams on the brakes and swerves, and he kind of like comes to a stop. And as he takes off, going back in that direction, you can see these white buildings. This was right in front of him as his car slid to a stop. This road here. At one point during that car chase, you see them drive across this bridge right here. They're coming this way, and if you pause the camera, you can see this this for the train tracks down below. You could see that. And then they continue going, and you can see this building here. I'll drive past it here in a second and come back up and try to mimic the shot. But you get to see this self-storage sign out of the window. You see, like out of the passenger window, you can see all the U-Haul sitting out there. And then as the cameras rotate into out of the rear window, you see that giant self-storage sign as they're driving down the road this direction. They come up this road as Kate is like hanging out the window, and you can clearly see this Focus sign here, the J&C Food Mart and the CNS Beauty Supply. They are like super visible in that shot, especially the CNS Beauty Supply and the JC Food Mart. They're right beside her as she's shooting at the other cars with the arrows. Right here, the corner of Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. This is where they did the when Kate shoots the exploding arrow, and it causes the van to like flip over and explode. And you can see the post here from the Fulton County Courthouse to the left, and the van would have been like right over in there. That's the spot.
Holy! There are 4 arrows more dangerous than that one?
In that shot where the van is blowing up right here, if you look, you can see the slanted glass structure there. It's right beside where the van blew up at. That means that shot, they filmed the van actually flipping and blowing up right here.
There are 4 arrows more dangerous.
And then we come back here to this exact same crosswalk where we were earlier. In the first scene where the old car was like, skidding his tires, sliding, he was going this direction. And then they do it again. This is where Kate shoots down the stoplight. So she shot the acid arrow right here and actually shot down this exact stoplight. And then Clint, slides that old car through this intersection. And in fact, in that shot, you can actually see that Martin Luther King Jr. Drive street sign there on the pole. You can see it in the shot as they're coming through this intersection. You get a pretty good look down that road right there after she shoots the stoplight, so. And then at the end of the car chase, they are coming back to the same bridge that they went across multiple times. And you see Clint in the old car driving in front of this building, and then they turn and head up this way. In Hawkeye, there is a car lot, Fat Man's Used Cars or whatever, which is supposed to be one of Fisk front companies. That was right here. There's not much left, like I said, of the actual location. These shipping containers over here, you can see those in those shots. The like awning was right here where all these like potholes are, where the poles were, and it had like a little roof structure going over the top of it. That was all set up right here. In a few shots, you can see this white building. All of the cars would have been scattered out through here. And then right over here in this corner, they would have erected the sign that said Fat Man's Used Cars. there's a couple of things right there we can look at. For one, in that shot, you can see the air conditioner unit here on top of the building, which is also right in front of that sign. And then you see this little triangle-shaped structure right here on the wall. You can see that in that episode of Hawkeye, where they're here at Fat Man's used car lot. You know, these storage containers are probably about in the same spot. They were just stacked up a lot higher. So that means the big fight scene between Clint and Maya, it happened right here. All the cars would have been lined up everywhere, and they were fighting in between them right here, right in front of the containers. Look at the interstate there in the background. Whew. I'm fixing to have to get on that to head home. I am now at the Marriott Atlanta Marquis, and one of the Disney Plus shows was shot using the inside of this building. If you watched the very first Disney Plus show to come out, I'm talking about Loki. They shot it right here inside of this building. This was the TVA. The elevators are the same. They use the exact elevators on that. There's one there. That's it, man. This is the filming location of the TVA and Loki. I'm in a parking lot full of Teslas, but in Loki, they travel to Haven Hills, Alabama, and this is one of the only other locations that they actually came somewhere and shot. This building here was used as the Roxcartt Store from Haven Hills, Alabama. That's about to be destroyed by a giant flood. They came here and shot all of that practically. And then they did a whole bunch of digital work and made it look a lot different. I have now come to Fairburn, Georgia, and I'm at the Georgia Renissance Festival, and this is where they filmed the third and final on-location scene from Loki. In that series, you can actually see Loki walking by this booth over here that says Dragonfly Armor.
Nexus events destabilize the time flow. This branch is still changing and growing, so you gotta show up in real time.
That means they come through their portals in that far right opening there on that building in front of us.
Apex of Nexus signature located, man.
Let me ask you this. Why don't we just travel back to before the attack, when the variant first arrives?
And of course, it's a private residence, so I can't get back there, but this is the Hawkeye farm. This is where all those scenes were filmed, Avengers Endgame, and every time they showed the farm in the Hawkeye Disney Plus series, Hawkeye. All that was shot right here at that house. And the final place on today's video, I have driven over to Fayetteville, Georgia. And Fayetteville, Georgia is home to Trilith Studios. You see here, this is a sound stage where they film stuff. And everything in any Marvel movie, if it was filmed on a soundstage, which all of them were at some points. Those shots were filmed right here at Trilith Studios, and we're just right outside of Atlanta. If you look from here, first off, there's this really cool barn, but then just right on the other side of that, you can see the green screen walls. It's 3 giant green screen walls that make like a U shape, and that's where they film like all that whole bridge scene for Spider-Man. They film a lot of stuff right there. So it'd be cool if you come out here and they were filming something and you could see it from right here where I'm standing. That's it, man. It's basically surrounded by green screen on 3 sides. And they build massive structures in it. Like they built that in like interstate bridge thing from Spider-Man No Way Home. They built it in there. From what I understand, it's like the only one like it in the world, and Trilith has it here. So when Marvel films any movie and it's like an outdoor scene, they're gonna film it right there in that spot. They also have like rails across the top of it there, so they can put cameramen up there, or the directors can stand up there and watch the action to see what's going on. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're gonna go in. There's a studio notice there. We're gonna go into this building. They have a restaurant in here where we can get some lunch. We're gonna eat lunch at the Studio Cafe here at Trilith while we're here. So, from here at Trilith Studios, where your favorite Marvel movies and TV shows were filmed. Loki was filmed here. All of them. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, go down, hit that subscribe button, then hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. If you're one of those wanting to help support the channel, there's links in the description box below. I get asked in the comments all the time, and that's where you can go. Thank you all. I will see you again tomorrow. Please stay safe and stay healthy. Much love to you all.